Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you a comparison video between the Puma V1.11 K and the Adidas AdiPure SL. And I know a lot of you guys are probably asking yourself, why am I comparing these two shoes? The reason is these are the only two speed boots that use a kangaroo leather upper. And when I say speed boot, I don't mean that you're going to be faster just because it's a lighter weight shoe. I just mean that I say speed boot because it is a lightweight shoe in comparison to other soccer shoes. And I know there are other leather soccer shoes, speed boots on the market, but none of them are kangaroo leather. They're either calfskin or even cheaper forms of leather. So these are the only two speed boots that I consider to be premium leather soccer shoes. As far as fit goes, these are both very unique, I guess, in fit. I'll start with the Puma. As you can see, guys, the Puma has an anatomical shaped toe, which means that it is at its longest point at the big toe area, and then it curves around where your toes should be, right? Unfortunately, the logic for this is that people's feet, their big toe is not always their longest toe. Just like mine, it's not. My second toe, the toe next to the big toe, is the longest toe. So that kind of creates some issues, one would think, but if you get the sizing right, it's fine. The sizing on this shoe, if your big toe is your longest toe, I recommend going a half size up. If your second toe is longer, go a full size up. So where I would normally wear a size 9, I needed a size 10 in the shoe. And they fit perfectly. The fit, it's got a fairly wide forefoot, so there's plenty of room in there, but they fit pretty snug. And then I would say the midfoot is not super wide at all. It's probably about a medium width, especially at first, but they will stretch out and break in and feel very comfortable. You have the synthetic suede heel liner, and under the laces, guys, there is, I have the laces tucked away, but it's just a central lacing system, so it fits really good, wraps the foot really well, and the fit is just fantastic, really comfortable because it is kangaroo leather. The AdiPure SL, a little bit different in terms of fit. The heel is very low cut. A lot of people complain that they feel like their heel is sliding out. I had that feeling, but my heel wasn't actually sliding out. It's just because they are so low cut. Sizing is another problem with this shoe. The pair I had for review were a size 9, which fit a little bit long, so I recommend going a half size down. So where I would normally wear a 9, I would need an 8.5 in the shoe, because it will stretch because the leather is very thin. You can see how much mine stretched out. The comfort's pretty good. You get a very thick tongue, and it kind of eliminates all lace bite, but it takes some getting used to, I guess, in terms of feel. This uses the Adi Zero sole plate, which is a little bit on the thin side, so you may feel some slight stud pressure, but overall I'd say this is a pretty comfortable boot. One thing I want to talk about that's very similar between these two shoes is not so much the tongue, but the lace area. The Puma V1.11 K uses a lace cover similar to what you saw on some of the older F50s, which is Velcros, and it covers the laces completely. This lace cover area is one piece of leather. It's fairly thick leather, and it does feel weird when you first put it on, because it's not shaped properly because it's not broken in. So when you first start wearing it, it'll feel chunky on your foot. At least I felt that, had that feeling with them. But once you break them in, honestly, I really like the shoe because the rest of the upper flowed well with the thickness of the tongue. So it felt like anywhere you touch the ball on the upper, it felt like you were touching the ball pretty uniformly. So anywhere you touched it, it felt the same. Another thing I didn't point out about this shoe is that they are both full kangaroo leather. So on like Adi Zeros, for instance, you only get leather at the front of the shoe, which is about there to there. This shoe is completely kangaroo leather. There's no synthetics at all. Same with the AdiPure SL. Okay, back to the tongues, guys. The AdiPure SL uses a much thicker tongue than the regular AdiPure 4. It's oddly thick. You can actually probably see the laces, how the laces kind of dug in from how tight I was tying it, because the tongue is really thick. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's super thick and super padded. You can actually see the 3 bars of padding there. And for me, it felt weird on this shoe, but only because the rest of the upper is it's a thin leather. They use a thinner leather than the regular AdiPure. So you get a thin touch around the upper, and then on top of the foot is a very thick padded touch, which again takes some getting used to, and I didn't mind it too much after. But for me, it still felt a little bit weird, and I wasn't a fan of that aspect of the boot. Stud pattern. I'm not generally a fan of bladed studs, but this V1.11 stud pattern, which isn't new, I believe it's the same since the V1.08, really impressed me. It's a bladed stud pattern, not so much multi-directional, especially in the front. It looks pretty basic, and then the back you have the kind of funky looking heel studs. But if you do look at the back like this, you see 1 heel stud, 2 heel studs, and then 2 here. So it's pretty basic. It looks a little bit wild from here, but from there it's really not that far off from your usual 4 in the back stud pattern. Then they added this extra little shark tooth looking thing. But anyways, as far as these feel, traction's really good. They grab, unlike most bladed stud patterns, they grab the ground, but they don't really, once you plant your foot, it doesn't feel stuck. You have some mobility, I feel. To me, it feels like a nice mix between conical studs and the bladed studs. So I really enjoyed the stud pattern, and I felt like I got pretty good grip even in the wet, muddy conditions. So that's one thing I really liked about this boot. And the AdiPure SL uses the Adizero sole plate, which means you get the Adizero stud pattern as well. It's definitely a solid stud pattern. It's kind of a mix between conical studs and blades. A little bit higher off the ground, I would say, but in terms of pretty much all conditions, it'll grip really well, especially in softer ground, because they are a little bit longer than most. But overall, the grip is pretty good. I would call it pretty even in terms of grip. And the last thing I want to talk about is quality. The quality on these Pumas is really, really unique. As you can see, guys, all the way around the upper, there's double stitched, and then even at the toe area it's triple stitched. Plus I'm sure there's glue in between the upper and the sole plate. So I'm really not worried about the shoe separating. The quality of the leather is just really fantastic. It doesn't feel like the leather you get on most speed boots. It feels like something you would get on like a Copa Mundial or something more traditional styled leather. So it felt really nice. It just felt very unique for such a lightweight boot, and it does weigh 8.4 ounces, which doesn't seem that impressive, but when you actually hold it in your hands and feel how nice quality the leather is, it's pretty crazy that they made it 8.4 ounces. And the quality on the AdiPure SL is, again, it feels really nice, but at the same time, for me, it feels delicate. I'm not very confident in the bond between the sole plate and the leather. I know there's not too many complaints about rips that I've heard, but if you plan on wearing this shoe on turf or anything like that, I would not expect it to last all that long. Click the link in the description to Sock Reviews for You for the full written review on both of these boots. The AdiPure SL boot review has already been up for a few months now, and the V1.11 K review will be up today, so definitely go check that out, guys. The website's where the real content is, guys. I have high quality pictures of all the boots so you get a better idea of what they look like in person. And the reviews are really detailed, guys. You'll definitely get a lot more info than you get from this video. So definitely go give any shoes you're interested in, give them a read. And you'll really learn something that you probably never even noticed about a shoe you already own. So definitely go check that out, guys. I think it'll be interesting for you. Also, guys, go check out my Facebook page. I'll leave the link in the description to that as well. Basically what goes on my Facebook page is any updates I get to my website, any new reviews, any new shoes that come in, even my YouTube stuff. So if you're on your Facebook stuff more and you're interested in getting the latest updates, go like my Facebook page and you'll be able to get that. Also guys, add me as a friend on Xbox Live. My account name is Josh Bujo. Basically guys, I have a mic. If you guys want to join a party with me, I can talk to you guys, answer any questions you guys have, or if you guys just want to play some games, that's cool with me too. So just want to connect with you guys a little bit and kind of get to know you guys instead of just comments in the comment section. And as always guys, if you do have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments guys. Make sure your question is a little bit more detailed. Don't leave such a vague question because it's difficult for me to answer. YouTube only gives you a little bit of room to answer, so try and make your question more specific. And as always guys, make sure you guys rate and subscribe. It really helps me out. The more you guys support me, the more stuff I'll be able to put up. As always guys, thanks for watching.